everybody. Today we'll be discussing the axilla. Before I go on and share with you some notes, I just wanted to tell you exactly where it lies here on this scheme. That's the apex of it, and then it continues down. Medial wall, base, lateral wall. And so that structure, and it passes behind the clavicle. So this structure is called the axilla. Not structure, it's basically a space. And so the apex here is lined by the scapula, the rib, and the clavicle. The medial wall is lined up by the ribs, and then the lateral wall is lined up by some part of the humerus. And I will show you exactly more details about it right now, just that so that you know exactly that the space here is called the axilla. And so hence the name axillary artery comes from there, because the axillary artery passes through this space. I'm just going to remove the pen here. So you see that there's this hollow region going through here, which is called the axilla. Okay, so I'm just gonna now share with you guys on my screen the notes, and so we can discuss details of its structure and what passes through it. Here, the axilla, as you all have seen me draw it right now, the axilla is basically or another name for it is the armpit. Basically, is a hollow out pyramid shaped space at the junction between the arm and the trunk. Okay, so that's the arm and that's the trunk, and so that space here is called the axilla. It lies between the upper part of the arm and the upper part of the side of the chest. It is situated just above the armpit. Okay, shape, it's pyramidal. And so it's pyramidal. It has apex, base, and four walls, of course. The apex of the axilla, it lies between the upper bone of the scapula, the first rib, and the clavicle, and is directed upwards. It transmits the axillary vessels, cords of the brachial plexus from the root of the neck to the axilla. Okay. The base of the axilla forms the lower wall of the axilla and is directed downwards and laterally. We're talking here about this part, the base. Okay. It is formed by skin and fascia of the armpit, and the axillary fascia is connected above the lower border of the pectoralis minor by the suspensory ligaments of the axilla. So if you touch your armpit around here, you're basically touching the base of the axilla. Okay. The anterior wall consists of two layers, the superficial and the deep. The superficial is formed by pectoralis major. That's the muscle that covers most area of your chest area. And the deep layer formed by the following three structures. The subclavius muscle, it's just the muscle below the clavicle, the clavico-pectoral fascia, and the pectoralis minor muscle. Okay. And so the posterior wall is longer, and of course it's wider. It's formed by three muscles: subscapularis, teres major, and latissimus dorsi. The medial wall, the wall that is closer to your ribs, it is formed by the upper 4 or 5 ribs, the intercostal muscles between them, and the upper part of the serratus anterior muscle. And the lateral wall, the wall that faces your humerus, of course, formed by the upper part of the humerus, short head of biceps, and coracobrachialis. And so more about the axilla you can read here. And then you have the contents of it. So you have axillary artery and its branches, axillary vein and its branches, the cords and branches of the brachial plexus. And so I will discuss more about the brachial plexus on my brachial plexus video, maybe just after this one. And you will see exactly what passes through the axilla. It's a lot of things, actually. And so you have additional things passing here: axillary lymph nodes, things like the axillary tail of female breast, nerve to serratus anterior, intercostal brachial nerve. And so, yes, so just to have an idea of what the axilla is before we dive into its contents. All right, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see you guys in the next one.